Now,
maybe she doesn't know.
Beyonce doesn't know.
Yeah, I don't think Beyonce. And they're not going to share that with her.
Yvette knows. I got the receipts. I still have the receipts.
What I've heard about them as a couple is that they've been living separate lives for a very long time. So they together, but they living separate.
There's been a wild wave of rumors going around that Jason Lee might be sitting on some explosive secrets about the cracks in Beyoncé and Jay-Z's marriage. Some even swear that Jason low-key tried to warn everyone that their relationship was in trouble way before the rest of the world caught on. If you've been online lately, you've probably seen Jason throwing shade and talking slick about Queen Bey on his talk show. Months ago, he even cornered Beyoncé on camera, hinting that he had dirt on her marriage to Jay-Z unless she could convince Kelly Rowland to promote his show.
I'm going to tell them while Johnny puts a beat, but you'll never know what it is, but I want you to see their reactions.
Ooh.
And that's where I go back. We're friends. Can you imagine had I put that on Hollywood Law? Oh, there was one more thing. Beat this, Johnny.
Woo!
So that in itself, I think Beyonce could have gave me a...
Maybe she doesn't know.
Beyonce doesn't know.
Yeah, I don't think Beyonce. And they're not going to share that with her.
No. Now, if I get that message to Beyonce, I'm connected. I could get the message to Beyonce. You know that, Yvette, we're trying to book Kelly Rowland right now. Now, if I don't get Kelly Rowland, then it's going to be a problem. Then I'm putting out receipts.
That was a bold move. Fans didn't hold back either. They dragged him all over social media for coming at Beyonce like that. People were calling him desperate and clout chasing. But now that fresh rumors are flying suggesting Beyonce might actually be ready to walk away from Jay-Z, everyone's spinning back like, wait, did Jason already know something? The whole situation is turning out to be messier than anyone expected. So here's how the Jason Lee versus Beyonce drama really started. Back in December, Jason reportedly lost his cool after Beyonce didn't invite him to her exclusive London Renaissance film premiere. Yup, the same glamorous event packed with A-list stars, influencers, and media elites. But guess what? Jason didn't make the cut. He went live, furious, claiming Beyonce doesn't support black media outlets. He even spilled that he dropped a whopping $40,000 on Renaissance concert tickets and luxury merch for his whole crew, just hoping it would land him that golden VIP invitation. When it didn't, Jason snapped. He felt disrespected, overlooked, and ready to make noise.
I think optically, when you don't include other black leaders in the culture in the fold, I mean, not just take me out of it. The Breakfast Club, I mean, you should have honored and brought more black. And I spent thousands of over $40,000 in tickets and shared the experience with friends. And I've done a lot, and I'm not even going to say it here because if I did, this internet, Beyonce's good internet, would go great.
And ever since that moment, he's been on Beyonce's neck nonstop. But with all these new whispers about marriage problems and behind-the-scenes drama, people can't help but wonder, was Jason Lee just being petty, or was he telling the truth all along? But here's the wild part. Even though other influencers with way less pull, effort, and spending were at that same party, Beyonce still didn't send Jason an invite. Can you imagine dropping 40 grand and still getting curved like that? Jason was heated, so what did he do next? He jumped on his show and started spilling so-called secrets about Beyonce, claiming he had dirt that could shake things up. The audience couldn't believe their ears. People's eyes were wide, jaws were on the floor, like they were witnessing something crazy unfold live on air. But Jason wasn't done yet. He took things even further, straight up tried to pressure Beyonce on camera. He said that if she could get Kelly Rowland to do an interview with him, he'd stay quiet about the information he was holding. That's wild behavior. Fans were calling it borderline blackmail, saying Jason was playing a dangerous game with one of the most powerful women in music. At first, people brushed it off. Most thought Jason was just being salty and chasing attention because he got snubbed. They said, he ain't got no real tea on Beyonce. He's just bitter. And for a while, that was the narrative. But fast forward to now, new rumors are swirling hard and social media detectives are connecting all the dots. People are now whispering that Beyonce and Jay-Z's marriage might actually be on the rocks. And some think this is exactly the tea Jason was hinting at all along. Fans are saying maybe he knew something the rest of us didn't. And let's be real, the foundation's been shaky before. Jay-Z's name has been tied to multiple women over the years, and even he's publicly admitted to cheating on Beyonce.
We could take it back a step further. We can go all the way back to when he was trying to get with Aaliyah. The Foxy rumors. This man has a legit history of what he's allegedly doing to Beyonce now. So why is it so far-fetched to y'all to think that he's not doing the same thing to Beyonce? Just because it's Beyonce? I'm gonna need y'all to take y'all stand caps off and put your thinking caps on.
So, if those whispers about divorce are true, it might not be as shocking as it sounds. Still, it's wild to think Jason Lee might have had the inside scoop this whole time. Things really started heating up when people began digging into Jay-Z's connection with Diddy. That's when the latest round of drama exploded. According to online whispers, Beyoncé was blindsided after allegedly discovering some sketchy financial moves Jay had been making with Diddy behind the scenes. Word is, she's now trying to quietly distance herself before it all blows up and turns into a full-blown scandal. Everyone knows Jay-Z and Diddy were like hip-hop brothers for decades, always showing up together, building empires side by side. But lately, that bond's been looking shaky. Right before Cassie dropped her bombshell lawsuit, Diddy sat down for an interview and said that only his mom and Jay-Z could call him Sean. He was clearly trying to show that their friendship was solid, unbreakable, family-level close. But here's where it gets dark. Cassie's lawyers later claimed that Diddy already knew her lawsuit was coming when he made that statement. Allegedly, he'd been scrambling to make secret deals, even offering Cassie millions to stay silent. Some say that was his way of warning everyone, don't get involved, because if I fall, I'm taking folks down with me. And fans think that's exactly why Diddy made sure to name drop Jay-Z to send a message.
Men who are supporting Cassie, who maybe have some stories about you that might feel a bit similar, you need to be put on mute. This is not your time.
But it doesn't stop there. The rumors are now getting even more twisted. Industry insiders are whispering that Jay-Z and Diddy's treatment of women might be a lot more similar than most realize. Former singer Jaguar Wright even came forward with shocking claims, hinting that Jay might actually be worse than Diddy when it comes to what happens behind closed doors.
Sean Carter is worse.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man.
He's smarter. He's patient. He's not sloppy. This been lining up people he calls friends and stepping to the side while they get hit by the guillotine for 30 years.
It's gotten to the point where fans are questioning everything. Was Beyoncé aware of these alleged deals? Did she finally draw the line when she saw the Diddy situation spiral? Because if those rumors are true, she might be trying to escape before she gets dragged into the storm. Jaguar claimed that fear, not loyalty, is what's keeping Jay-Z quiet through all of Diddy's chaos. She said Jay knows that if he ever speaks out, Diddy could expose him too, and that might include how he allegedly treated Beyoncé behind closed doors. Things could get ugly fast.
Talking about free Britney, y'all need to be doing a campaign that say free Beyonce. She is a prisoner in a gilded cage.
But hold up, because the tea gets even hotter. Jaguar didn't stop at calling Jay out. She went deeper, digging into those old rumors about Jay's history with younger women in the industry. Fans haven't forgotten the names that keep floating around: Foxy Brown, Aaliyah, Taylor Mari, and even Rihanna. Then there's his questionable friendship with R. Kelly. Even after all of Kelly's crimes came out, Jay refused to cut ties, and people were giving him serious side-eye for that. The streets were saying he was protecting someone he shouldn't have.
Saw Jay-Z. And he was working with R. Kelly, and they were making so many records together. You know, they made all those records together. They both, Aaliyah. They shared so much in common.
And truth be told, Jay and R. Kelly had a lot in common back then. Too much, according to some. Even Beyoncé's own fans have long side-eyed the story of how she and Jay met. The whole thing has always felt just a little off. According to Beyoncé, she and Jay-Z didn't start dating until she was 18, but things got suspicious when Jay slipped up in a 2007 interview with Charlie Rose. When asked how long he'd known Beyoncé, Jay got nervous and accidentally revealed that they'd actually met 10 years earlier.
Wow, a long time.
How long? 10 years?
However long she's been recording. That's when I met her.
Well, don't you remember how long it was?
Yeah, when I met her. I mean,
Was it 5 years ago? Was it?
I met her 10 years ago.
But did you say to yourself at that time, wow?
That's a fantastic talent.
Was that what you said?
Yeah.
Fans immediately caught it. The math wasn't mathing. That tiny mistake changed everything. If they really met back in 1997, that means Jay-Z was 28 years old, while Beyoncé was only 15 or 16 at the time. The internet went wild, digging into old timelines and questioning everything about their so-called perfect love story. People couldn't ignore the major age gap, and it sent folks searching through Jay's past relationships, and what they found wasn't pretty. rumors started resurfacing about how Jay allegedly dated Foxy Brown when she was still a teenager, promising to make her a superstar before Beyoncé ever entered the picture. People began comparing it to Diddy and Cassie's situation, saying the dynamics looked way too similar. The pattern was impossible to ignore, and it doesn't stop there. When Beyoncé was only 19 and Jay was 36, fans began whispering that the power balance was never equal. Over time, some even claimed that Jay might have used control and influence to keep her in check. Then came the most jaw-dropping claim. Uncle Ron, Beyoncé's alleged former bodyguard, spoke out publicly saying Jay-Z was the real puppet master in their relationship.
Yeah, Beyonce's on. She's been on him for a long time, and you keep her that way.
He claimed Jay was the one pulling all the strings, making every decision, and even controlling how Beyoncé lived and worked. And if that wasn't wild enough, Jaguar Wright took it up a notch. She boldly said, yeah, Beyoncé's on it. She's been on him for a long time, and you keep her that way. That statement alone sent social media into a frenzy. Whether it's true or not, it painted a disturbing picture of control, manipulation, and secrecy inside one of music's most powerful couples. Jaguar even went as far as saying that Beyoncé lives like a prisoner in a golden cage. She claimed that behind all the fame, wealth, and glitter, Beyoncé has no real freedom, just the illusion of it wrapped in luxury and control. But here's where things took a wild turn and sent the divorce rumors spiraling out of control. Recently, Jay-Z publicly stood up for Beyoncé at the Grammys, calling out the Recording Academy for never giving her Album of the Year. At first, fans cheered him on, praising him for defending his wife, but the mood shifted fast once people caught Beyoncé's expression. Instead of looking touched or emotional, she looked stiff, almost irritated. And then came the moment that really threw everyone off. When Jay was praising her, he didn't even call her Beyoncé. He said, "This young lady." Fans were like, wait, what? This young lady? It sounded cold, distant, like something was seriously off. And to top it all off, right after Jay wrapped up his speech and accepted his Global Impact Award, he and Beyoncé immediately left the Grammys with Blue Ivy. No mingling, no celebration, just gone. People couldn't stop asking, what's really going on behind closed doors? Wait a second, how does that even make sense? Jay-Z respected the Grammys enough to accept their award, yet he was bashing them on stage for disrespecting his wife at the same time. Fans were quick to call it contradictory and awkward, and to make it even stranger, Jay never once mentioned Beyoncé by name or even called her my wife while giving that speech in front of millions.
So even by your own metrics, that doesn't work. Think about that. The most Grammys, never won Album of the Year. That doesn't work.
Supporters couldn't shake the weird vibe. It felt cold, distant, and offbeat. Many even said the moment reminded them of that tense clip of Diddy yelling at Cassie at a party just months before her lawsuit hit the public. The parallel was eerie, and it only fueled more speculation. Meanwhile, rumors say Beyoncé has been hustling harder than ever, launching her new hair care line and prepping another album. Word is she's been trying to stack her own money and build independence, separate from Jay's empire. Some believe she's quietly protecting herself before the whole Diddy scandal pulls Jay into deeper drama. And remember, Jason Lee's shady comments about Beyoncé dropped right after Cassie's lawsuit went viral. Now fans are connecting dots like crazy, wondering if Jason's cryptic warnings were really about Jay-Z's connection to Diddy. The timeline's too close to ignore. At this point, it's all looking messier than a spilled club drink. And as for Jason, if he ever decides to drop the full truth, he could be sitting on secrets powerful enough to shake the entire industry. No one knows if he'll ever speak out, but one thing's guaranteed, Jason Lee never bites his tongue. Fans are saying they wouldn't be shocked at all if Jay-Z turned out to be even worse than Diddy. Social media is on fire right now. Everyone's got an opinion and nobody's holding back. But here's the real twist. Not everyone sees Beyoncé as the victim. Some people believe that if Jay's empire crumbles, Beyoncé might be worried about her own secrets coming out too. It's got folks wondering what's really going on behind those billion-dollar smiles. At this point, the situation could go in any direction, fast. So tell me, do you think Beyoncé is truly ready to file for divorce, or is she too locked into her business to walk away? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Stay tuned because this story's far from over.